Goddamn stupid fucking ridiculous cheap ass fucking tripod. Well, well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Seasonic Power Supply update. Okay, so there's some shit I gotta address here. God, I hate this tripod. So, this is what you're seeing right now. This is my personal system. You probably guessed that. And it's changed a little bit since the last time you've seen it. And whatever you're hearing in the background, if you're hearing those are locusts or cicadas, whatever the fuck you call those things. Then they're chirping and they're making all sorts of noise, and it's really pissing me off. So, yep, there we go. So what we got here is my personal system, obviously. So it's changed a little bit since the last time you've seen it. Last time you saw it, it was in a TJ08, a Silverstone case, and it's also had a couple of upgrades and changes here and there, obviously. So let's run through the hardware real quick. So at the heart of everything is the case. So we got the Phanteks Enthoo Pro M, which is the mid-tower version of the Enthoo Pro. The motherboard is the ASRock X99 Fatality M. That's the micro ATX. It has the USB 3.1 and all that bullshit on the back. CPU is a 5960X Intel last generation Extreme Edition processor. I wanted to get the new, what is it, the 6950X, but that shit's fucking $1,700, and I'm not fucking with that. I'm not fucking spending $1,700 for 2 extra cores. What is that? It's 32 gigs of RAM. Yeah, 32 gigs of G.Skill Ripjaws 5, one of the 3000 megahertz modules, I think. This was the big upgrade since the last video. I went from 2 GTX 760s, 2 gigabyte versions, to a single GTX 980 Ti. And there it is in all its glory. It's the EVGA For the Win edition, has the fucking back plate and all that shit. I threw a USB card in because I need more USB ports because I use a shitload of them. Let's see, SSD and hard drive in the bottom. I'm not going to go through that. So, what's the video about, you're going to ask me? Well, the video is that shit right there. That is the Seasonic M2 something something Evo 750 watt 80 plus bronze efficiency power supply. Now, if you haven't seen my last video, which you can watch right up in here by clicking there, you'll notice that I made some statements about it that, having spent some time with it now, I kind of regret saying. So we're going to test the loudness of it. And I'm sorry if I sound really retarded right now. It's because I'm a little bit stoned. So, yeah, I had a little bit of kush this morning. Yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm tired of hearing, you know, comments about like, oh, you're a stoner. I need a new tripod so bad. Somebody just give me a new tripod. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up Heaven Benchmark, and I'm going to take out the power supply and kind of isolate it somewhat from the rest of the system. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out of the back panel and let it rest on the side, so that way I can kind of point the camera, you know, inside, and then go to the, you know, where the fucking power supply is, and you'll be able to hear it. It's definitely it's a noticeable difference between the system and the power supply. And I don't even have like a really good microphone. I'm just using the standard ass shit that you get on the camera, and that's what you're gonna get. And you're gonna see how loud this son of a bitch is. So we're gonna let this run for Actually, I better shut it down first before I remove the power supply from the system, but when I come back, I'm going to start this shit up, and you'll see how loud this fucker is, and spoiler alert, it's pretty much jet engine territory, so yeah. Alrighty, so just before we test this thing out, let's do a little bit of an ambient noise test. So here's the system. There are those two front 140 mil Noctuas. The three noise blockers up in the top and the Fractal Venturi at the rear. Alright. Now here's the power supply at idle. Yep, there it is right there. Alright, so you see it's not really that loud right now at idle. But, you know, once we hit the little magic run button, that's gonna change here in about, oh, I don't know, a couple of minutes. So we'll give this about 10 minutes to get it good and fired up, and then we'll take noise levels after that. And I think you're gonna be pretty surprised, kind of like I was when I first started using this goddamn thing. God, look how fucking dirty that shit is. Like, I'm just now realizing that's pretty dirty. Like, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but goddamn, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with that. Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Fuck you. Alright, so we've been running for, yeah, about 10 minutes, give or take, so... the fucking magic of editing, right? So, yeah, we're well under load right now. So here's the system, what the CPU loop for comparison, right? Now let's go over to the power supply. Yeah, okay, back to the system. Back to the power supply. And again, I apologize for shitty audio. Like always, I'm not a professional fucking photographer, videographer, cinematographer, whatever the fuck. Therefore, I don't have, you know, the highest grade of equipment. And, you know, that's just an unfortunate side effect of being a fucking small YouTuber. Excuse me, small YouTuber with, you know, poor people, blue collar budget. That's what you get. So the burning question you're probably all wanting to know is, why did I make this video in the first place? Well, I got a few questions. Not a lot, but a few. I'm not going to pretend, you know, to fucking be a massive person, be like, oh yeah, a bunch of people asked me, not like 2 or 3 people. 2 or 3 people asked me, you know, what's the noise level on this thing? So I decided to make a video on it. And also because I don't believe that people should be sharing bullshit information. If you remember, there's a very specific part of the review of this unit where I said the fan was quiet. Power supply unit that has full modularity, 80 plus bronze efficiency, a nice quiet fan, a nice quiet fan, a nice quiet fan, a nice quiet fan. Yeah, obviously that's not the case, and I didn't want to be that guy, so I decided I wanted to, you know, tell you guys the truth about how loud this thing is. It's not very quiet. In fact, it's very, very loud and obnoxious, and it's very distracting, especially when you're trying to use it as a workstation. And even in a mild load, this thing sounds like a fucking SR-71 Blackbird. It's terrible. So, take it from me, we all make mistakes, we all fuck shit up sometimes, and I made a statement in a video that I probably shouldn't have made. by saying that it is a quiet power supply, and I obviously was very wrong. I made that statement before I actually tested this thing out thoroughly, and it came back to bite me in the ass. So this is the truth about the Seasonic M12-2 Evo 80 plus bronze power supply. It's very fucking loud. Although it's a good power supply, don't get me wrong, this is a great power supply. I haven't had any fuck-ups with it, and it has plenty of cables, it has plenty of everything for what I need. The problem is, it's very, very noisy, and you just keep that in mind if you have an eye for this. Good power supply, very loud, and if you are looking for workstation silence, this is not the route you want to go. So I am going to be replacing this at some point. Spoiler alert, I have the replacement for this unit ordered. It's pre-ordered, and that should give you some idea of what it is. So I'm not going to ruin that for you. I am going to do an ADHD style review of that power supply, and I've already got some of the things I want to say about it, so look for that. And if you want to see that video, hit the subscribe button. I know, I'm really sorry that you guys had to fucking sit here and, through all that shit and listen to me stutter like a retard because, I'm high. So toss me a like for sympathy, and I guess I'll see you guys whenever I do the next video. Peace out, y'alls. Get fucked! Fuck you, Corsair!